Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. Thank you for tuning in. Today I thought we would together put a track together on the MC 101. I'll take you through the entire process from creating and initializing your project, setting up a template, we'll create and record some clips, I'll choose the sounds for you, and we'll explore the real-time performance functions. So let's get started after a quick word of thanks to my sponsors. Okay, the first thing we need to do is create a new project and initialize it and set it up with the right clips and the right clip length and so on. So let's do that right now. And once we've done this, it's a little bit tedious, but once we've done these administrative tasks, we can actually save this as a template and speed up our workflow in the future. That's always a nice thing. So I am going to go through and select a new project. What I'm working on right now is not saved. I was just messing about a little bit, so that's okay. I'm going to choose a new one. So all the parameter selections are done using this knob here, and you click it downwards to confirm your choices. New project, here we go. And now we need to set up a few default things here. Very good. If I go to the clip page now, we can see we have a clip ready to go here. Let's check the length of that one. Maybe I can also confirm that this is a drum track, but let's just first see what this clip is. A clip is just a place where we record a pattern. We can have 16 of them here. Shift and this button here, the measure button, will tell us that the step length is 16, which is 1 bar or 1 measure, which is just fine. Let's go to track 2. These are the track selection buttons here. Track 2, we have a clip there, which is also 16, but that's not enough. I want to have a 4 bar, typically at least 4 bars for my melodic parts, because track 2 we're going to record a bass line to. So once again, shift, measure, and if I hold down the shift, it's going to jump up. First we need to select which parameter we're going to edit. There are a few things that we can do here, but I'm going to just adjust the step length, 16, shift, turn it, and it jumps up in nice even numbers. 64 is 4 bars. Enter to confirm, exit. Let's do the same thing for track 3, which will also be our melodic part. And bear with me, this is a little bit tedious, but we'll save this as a template so we can reuse this. It's actually telling me there isn't a track created here. We need to create track 3. Do we want a tone track, a drum track, drums with compression, or a looper, which is just a sample that will loop round? I definitely want a tone track. Enter to confirm, complete, clip, that one there, shift, there we go, step length, shift. See, if I don't hold down shift, we can step up in strange numbers of beats. I don't want that right now, so let's go to 64, click enter, exit. And for track 4, I'm not going to bother creating any clips. We need to create another tone track, like so. But I'm not going to record any clips. I want track 4 to be used for our improvisation, as our composition is playing, just to keep things interesting. So that's very nice. I think everything should be set up there. One other thing we can check, if I go back to track 1, let's check the quantization settings for the entire project. Shift, record. I just want to check that input quantization is on. You can turn it off if you want, but it's quite good for a somewhat more robotic performance like I'm about to record today. So once we've done that, you might want to save this as a template. So let's press the project. We'll go over to write, which was actually this way, write it as a new project. Yes. And now we can actually use this the next time we create a track and save us a little bit of time, which is always a good thing. Okay, let's work a little bit with our drum track. I'm just going to put down a basic 4 to the floor bass drum part to get us started and up and running. I want a tempo of about ding, 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 something like that. So let's tap that one in. Shift this button here. And we're about 100. That was the tempo. You can dial it in manually as well, but I always just tap it in myself. And now we are going to choose a drum kit on track 1. So we need to get very comfortable with choosing the different pad modes here. Clip is what we've used so far to activate which pattern will be currently playing back or that we are working on. Right now there's only one clip recorded or one clip prepared here on this pad here. We have a sequencer mode, which is where we can punch in notes on the step sequencer. We have the note mode, which is where I can play things in real time. And then we have the scatter mode, which is where we can apply some quite interesting and fun real-time effects, but more on that later. So let's go back to the note mode, and I'm going to now load in a kit. So enter. We can choose between presets, projects, WAV files. I'm going to go for presets. And what I'm looking for here, we can sort by number or alphabetically. I'm going to look, oh, we have it here already, a CR78. Which I can take actually. I think that'd work quite well. Where did it go there? So, very important. Now you have to confirm your choice. Don't think that just because it's on the screen and you're playing the sounds that it's selected. It's not. I guess this flashing exit is a bit of a warning sign. You've got to remember to confirm your choice. Now we've loaded this particular kit onto the track. So I'm going to do a step sequence now. Let's select the bass drum. And now we're going to go to the sequencer, and I'm just going to punch it in on steps 1, 5, 9, and 13. Let's take a listen. Very nice. This acts as a metronome as well. You can actually switch on a metronome within the device, but I find it just easier to create a very basic scratch drum pattern first that we're going to use. So if I go back to the clip page, I'm going to make a couple of copies of this now, and then we'll add some variations of this to build up the track. So shift, copy. We're going to copy everything within the clip. It's already proposing from clip 1 to clip 2, which will be just fine. Okay, here we go. That one there. And let's add a snare drum to this part then here. Back to the sequencer, back to the notes. There's our snare. And I'm going to punch that one in there and there. Very nice. And then I'm going to make one more copy of this clip. Shift. You get to know these shift functions after a little while. Everything on that clip, number 2 to number 3. Yes. I'm not sure why it needs me to confirm what I've just told it to do, but anyway, it does. Right. On this one, I'm going to play in some percussion, I think, and I'll do that real time. So let's go to the note page, find. That's nice. Record something in real time. So record button on, play. Okay, that's good. Cool, I like that. Now I'm going to show you very briefly how you can edit some of these sounds if you want. So you can edit a lot of things to do with the drum kit here. Let me show you how we can adjust the volume, for example, of that hi-hat part. Shift. We're going to go into the sound edit mode, choose the pad, enter to confirm, and now we can choose quite a few different parameters to adjust. We can add a bit of reverb to it, that might be nice. Let's turn it down a little bit. Reverb, we'll do it in a second. That's good. Did I see delay send, reverb send? Let's see. Okay, we haven't enabled any reverb for this track yet. We'll do that in a second. Basically, we need to select the FX button. And then for the drum track that we just recorded, we can turn up the reverb. There we go. I also need to switch off the reverb for the other pads because I don't really want to have that going. So I guess we can do that straight away. We have the bass drum. reverb send, don't want any reverb there. We had this part here, don't really want anything there either. So let's, you can see we can do our pans here as well. This one I don't want any reverb on either. What do we have now? I'm not sure why we're not getting more reverb on this sound, but never mind. Right, I'm just going to select the most basic variation. We've got a couple of, just a kick, a couple of different variations to play with now as we build up the track. That's with the snare, and here's the version with the percussion. Without the reverb, but whatever. Okay, let's move on and record our instrumental part. We'll do a bass line on track 2. First, I just want to make sure we've got the simple drum part playing. I don't want the percussion as we're recording stuff. Now to part 2, and I need to select the sound that we are going to use. I want a nice bass sound, so let's click here. For track 2, select this one. I'm just going to double check that we have the right clip length, 64. That's excellent. Notes. I don't want the init tone, I want a nice bass, so let's choose that now. Enter to choose. We can choose between presets, choose a sound from another project, a WAV file, but I definitely want presets. I want to go not by number, not by alphabet, by category, and the first one that comes up is Syn Bass, so that's perfect. Now we can play through them. Bit too high, so we transpose the entire keyboard down using this button here. This is up. Let's see what we find. This is one I like a lot, actually. So let's record onto our clip. All we need to do is enable the record. Now this doesn't have any count in feature, unfortunately, so we're going to have to let it play through the entire 4 bars, and then I'll be able to start recording my pattern and the groove I'm going to use, or I'm going to do something like this. I've got an idea for a song that we're going to record together. Like that. Let's go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, get out of record. I think that was a success. Oh, one very important thing. If I was to do some other action here, or to choose a different track or a different pad mode, then I will lose this preset. We almost forgot to confirm the choice. It's not enough to select a sound on the screen and then play it. You actually have to confirm it and write it to the track. So you do that by clicking there to confirm. Now we can safely switch to a different track. So track 3, I am going to select another sound, preset again, synth bass. I have an idea here that we can go to the pulse category. Let's take a listen. Not that one for sure. This is where we get some nice rhythmic pulsating patches here that I think will work well with the track. So if we turn this, we jump patches one step at a time, and it's going through all the different banks and finding sounds that is in this pulsating category, which is really nice. If we want to go a bit faster, hold down shift and it's going to jump 10 at a time. And I do have a particular pad I'm looking for. Let's just check what the number is. Yeah, the one I want is called Goes a Pad D215, perhaps. Was it there? Yes. And of course, remember to confirm your choice. Now let's talk a little bit about how we can sculpt this sound a little bit. So this is a little bit bright for me, but we can easily tweak that. Let's press the filter button, and now we have 4 knobs, and each of these controls the filter for tracks 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on track 2 now, so it's this knob. Interestingly, the latest firmware allows you to adjust 4 different parameters for the same track at the same time, but I really like this, having access to the filters for all 4 tracks separately. It's really good while performing, I think. But this is quite nice, I think. We've made it a bit more mellow. So let's record. I'm going to go to the clip, select that one, just confirm the length is 64. Great. Let's exit there, back to the note mode. A lot of swapping around between the different pad modes here, but I think we're ready to record. We just have to loop through the 4 bars and we're good to go. 2, 3, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. I noticed the quantization was off on the bass. Let's listen. Yep. Okay, we totally screwed up that bass. The input quantization got that wrong. I must have been playing too out of tight for the quantization to help. So let's go and fix that now. Back to track 2, back to the clip. Select this one. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this. We can remove the clip entirely, but then we'll have to recreate it and set the step length. I don't want to do that. This is how we do it. Bo Beats shared this little tip with me. Press these 2 together to enter the clear mode and then hit the sequencer. I'm on track 2. Let's just double check. Sequencer, clear phrase. Now we've deleted the bass part. So I'll record that again. Here we go. Pretty sure I got it that time. Let's move on and choose a sound for track 4. So I'm not going to record anything here. I'm going to use this track 4 for playing parts in real time, just jamming along, improvising to the parts that we just created. And there's a sound, well, let's just browse through, shall we? There's a nice shimmer pad that I found. I'm going to go to searching by everything here. Let's wake my screen back up. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to scroll through to one that I picked out earlier. Yeah, B169 shimmer pad, enter. This one I thought was very nice. Almost like a whistle sound. And I noticed the filter effect wasn't doing very much in this case. It doesn't seem to for some of the XV5080 patches. You can actually dig into the menus here and do some more in-depth sound editing if you want, but I don't want to do that today. This is just fine, and I like the effects on that a lot. So we can do stuff like this. Okay, but I want to record a B section because this 4-bar loop is going to get really, really irritating if we keep playing it over and over again. So let's create another couple of clips to add a B section to this track. Jump to bass, to our bass on track 2, clips, and I'm going to record a new clip. We'll go there, set the length. Oh, and it's remembered that I wanted 64. That's really handy. So I guess we're ready to record. Note mode. We need to transpose down. I could do with another octave. Okay, let's go for something like that. I'm actually going to, I don't want the part on, the clip on track 3 playing right now, because that's not going to work for these chords. I'm actually going to introduce the chord of F and G here as well. We had D minor and E minor before. This modulates to something more majory. And I need to loop through 4 bars. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah! Hang on, what happened there? I'm pretty sure we had 64, but that wasn't the case. That was just a 1-bar pattern. Clip length 16, that's really strange. So let's go to 64. Doing it the hard way here. We'll need to recover from this mistake, but we know how to do that now. So hopefully we have a 64-bar clip. Shift, shift, sequencer, delete the phrase. Clip, that one there. 64, thank you very much. I'm sure it was the first time, but something went wrong. So we need to record that again. Here we go. You can see why I really asked Roland to give me a counting. This gets tedious. Imagine an 8-bar pattern. And here we go. Cool. Let's record the clip on track 3 to go together with that one. So I am going to go to clip, a new clip here. Yep, new clip. Step length. I would also love to see a default for the default clip length. It seems to me like 1 bar is not very long, and this is kind of tedious to do this every time. We could actually do this as part of the template as well, so we don't need to do it every time we do a new track. Enter. But hopefully you're getting an idea of the typical workflow here that we have to use on the 101. It's kind of similar on the 707 as well. So we have the step length set. Let's get out of there. And I need to record a part now. So let's turn this one back up again. We had some F and G thing going, so maybe like that. F. That could work. Here we go. Okay, I got clever there and came in halfway through the pattern and started with the G. But I think that's pretty nice. Now we can switch between those two, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So let's go back to the clip view button, and let's go back to clip 1. Do the same thing for track 2. So one thing to be aware of here, it's a little bit different to Ableton or even the MC707. You don't see all of the clips from all of the tracks at the same time. So by pressing track number 2, I see the clips for track 2. By pressing track 3, I see the clips for track 3, which makes it a little bit tricky unless there's some way you can create scenes, perhaps. It makes it quite tricky for me to change the clip on 2 tracks at the same time. I have to, let me illustrate it for you instead, shall I? So we've got the first part selected there. I'm also going to change the drum rhythm right now as well. Let's go for the second one, and let's start it off. Okay, if I want to change to the B section, I'll show you how to do it. We'll do it for track 2 and for track 3. Here we go. We could have done the rhythm as well. And now let's change it back. Here we go. Track 1, track 2, track 3. I got the timing wrong there. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Unless you can do some kind of chain mode or scene mode, it's quite tricky to change tracks or change clips on multiple tracks at the same time. If you've got any tips, then do let me know in the comments. But normally I manage to pull it off, more or less. On track 4 then, I'm free to improvise something as the groove is playing. You get the idea. Let's talk a little bit about these very interesting scatter effects. Let's play the B section, so activate those clips for playback. Go to track 4. Now I'm not able to improvise. Whoops. I'm not able to improvise and do the scatter at the same time because that's on a different mode. That's okay. Let's just explore some of these together. So I'm actually going to choose a different clip here as well. For the drums, let's get something a bit more rhythmic going on there as well. Let's get this going. We're going to trigger the B section. Now, each of these pads does various different effects. I'll demonstrate a few of them for you right now. Interestingly, if we had a MIDI keyboard, then I would be able to play actually a melodic part and scatter it at the same time, which would be kind of fun. It is possible to edit the scatter parameters as well. I don't quite remember exactly how to do that. Shift, probably the scatter button. And now, yes, we can adjust, for example, if we take this pad, which is 16, yeah. We can adjust the color of the pad. That's interesting. Yeah, what sort of scatter effect it is, the volume and all that kind of thing. Well, that seems like a bit overkill for an introductory tutorial just like this one. Okay, so that's what we came up with today during about 45 minutes or so. I really hope you liked it, but mainly I hope you got some value from seeing how the workflow of the MC 101 actually is to use and how you can build up a track using recording to the clips, choosing the sounds, and using the very nice scatter effects. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for watching. A huge thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. I'll see you again next time. Cheerio.